Hello and welcome to this edition of the Weekly Dose, Challenge Your Perspective. This is Patrick Dare in Washington, D.C. In fact, on January 19th, the children of Langata Road Primary School were violently dispersed by the police for demonstrating against a piece of land that they used for their playground that suddenly had been cordoned off by supposed developers. The children wanted their playground back, and they were going to show this by a peaceful demonstration. We saw the placards that read, "Grabbing is terror against children." Another one read, "Grabbing without shame." And yet another one asked the question, "Dad, Mom, what did you do to change things?" The children simply wanted answers, and they wanted their playground back. And somebody somewhere was going to have none of this. They were going to have the police swoop on these children and show them that your demonstration is not welcome. Protecting somebody, a grabber. We saw the terror in these children, running around not knowing, confused, terrorized. This is not an incident that these kids will forget very easily. I remember being a college student at the University of Nairobi, being tear gassed by the police. You're confused, you don't know where to run. Your tears are running down your cheeks, your eyes are itchy. It's a terrorizing moment. You don't know when next you're going to run into a policeman that will clobber you. You can imagine the terror in these children's eyes. Children as young as 6 years old, 8 years old, 13 years old. What opinion they have of the police. What fears that they have for the rest of their lives. For what? For grabbed land and somebody being protected. That is Kenya for you. After this, there were questions as to who owned this land. And the fact, the then CS, Ms. Charity Ngilu, came up with 4 names. Mandeep Singh Amrit, Haban Singh Amrit, Kamal Prakash Amrit, and Manjeet Singh Amrit as the people that were behind the grabbed land. Questions also came up as to who owned the Weston Hotel. There were questions that this hotel had been built on grabbed land. And the Ports Authority was against the building of this hotel. And they confirmed that it was their land. That this hotel posed security risk. It was in the path of flights coming into Wilson Airport. At the time, a Patrick Osero claimed that he was the owner of the land, of the hotel, and that the mention of the vice president was not true. That the vice president merely paid a visit as a courtesy call from a friend. And for a long time, the media users, if you use Facebook, you saw the caricature of the vice president's picture, obviously photoshopped, with a turban and tears running down his cheek, being called a ramp Singh, of a mockery of what the CS Ms. Ngilu had named as the owners of the grabbed land. A fact, not too long ago, the vice president himself confirmed to the nation that he was the owner of this hotel. This hotel that had been questioned and is still being questioned as to how the land was acquired. We know that the president, Mr. Uhuru, has declared war on corruption. He has set a precedence by firing up to 175 people, his nominees, parastatal heads, permanent secretaries, his own cabinet ministers, Charity Ngilu included, to pave way for investigation into their corrupt allegations. At this point, the Weston Hotel building is an allegation. I'm not saying the vice president is guilty. That's for the courts to decide if it goes that way. But there must be an indication that there's legitimate fighting of corruption. And it has to start from the top. The vice president, I believe, should recuse himself, distance himself from this hotel, at least for a while, until full investigation is conducted. We know that from reports there was opposition even from the Kenya Airport Authority. The legitimate of fighting corruption has to start from the top. Otherwise, it becomes almost legitimized. We see corruption after corruption, big money being spent in dubious manners. It emboldens the people that are likely to do this if they see that nothing is done, that some people are above the law, because that is the impression that it gives. There has to be the willpower that nobody should grab public land for personal gain. That is my perspective. What's yours?